Hi guys, and welcome back to the mushroom class. My name is Wangari Kuria of the Farm on Fire, and I'm excited to have you here. So today we're going to discuss the different types of mushrooms. So get your pen and paper and let's get educated. So the first thing you need to know about mushrooms, they are edible mushrooms and they are poisonous mushrooms. Almost half of the species in the world, there are over 4,000 species in the world of mushrooms. 50% of that is poisonous, 50% is edible. So just be aware of this and know that it's a gamble, it's a 50-50%. That's why when people are coming to me for me to teach them about mushroom farming, when people come to us for training in mushroom farming, I always tell them that yes, this is a high value product, but it's also high risk. So I hope you're understanding where this is coming from. It's also nature that half of them will harm us, but half of them will give us great benefit, great nutrition, medicinal, so much value. So I hope you get to see the differences. Another thing that you should know, point number 2, is that there are primary decomposers and secondary decomposers. So primary decomposers means that they start attacking the tree, any organic matter that is dying. You know, there's a time that trees are ready to, the trees are ready to die and ready to be harvested. You remember Wangari Maathai crying when he saw trees that were so big, but then it was time. It's the cycle of life, and she was crying because they had to cut down the trees, they had to harvest them and make them have use. But she was just still like, wow, very attached to trees. But anyway, when that happens, there are mushrooms that are already starting to decompose that tree, and by the time it's falling, it's called, those mushrooms have eaten it out. So those are the primary decomposers. So once the tree is looking like, so dust, even your hands, you can use your hands to start, breaking it down with your own hands. Then the secondary decomposers come. So these are things like button mushrooms that already wait for the decomposed substrate. And that's why when we're preparing button mushrooms, we have to compost it for about a month. We take the grass and we add manure to it so that you can break it down. Now let's go to the uses of mushrooms. Mushrooms have different uses in our lives, and it's amazing how we haven't even scratched the surface. As you know, mushrooms are funguses. So there is so much research that still needs to go into this. A lot of people didn't even know that mushrooms were edible, and here we are calling it a superfood, something that will solve our problems. They are used, a lot of people use the term that they increase longevity, in terms of they increase our lifespan. So mushrooms are very critical. I don't think that we would be here if there were no mushrooms in the world, because they just even are used for pollutants. I've seen mushrooms that have been grown where there were oil spills. Oil is unearthed in the ocean. Some of the oil wells are in the ocean, and sometimes you find that those rigs, they break down, and then there is an oil spill into the surface of the water, killing the ecosystem, the fish and all that. And what they do at the riverbanks, because that's where most of the oil residue tends to happen, they plant mushrooms, and these mushrooms kind of take on the oil, the bad things into the environment, and give out good stuff. So mushrooms are quite important. Number 1 reason for growing mushrooms is nutrition. They have a lot of carbohydrates, they have a lot of protein, over 40% proteins, and a lot of vegans rely on mushrooms for nutrition. So they are very good as food, just basic food. You just fry them and you eat them and you're awesome. Then number 2, they are used for medicinal purposes. They are highly used in the pharmaceutical industry as a raw material to have specific nutrients that are not in other elements. So mushrooms are a good base for just health reasons. One of them is Ganoderma, there is reishi, and there are so many others. But basically the Ganoderma family guys, you have seen a lot of coffees with Ganodama supplements, which are very good. We also sell Ganodama coffees, so if you want some, let us know and we'll ship it to you. We also have capsules. We also have Lansman mushroom. It's very good for the brain development, for people who have a failing memory, people who are aging and want to still have, are looking for a supplement. Because right now there are so many supplements in the market, but we don't know what is in them. It could be harming us, yet we take it religiously. So taking some of these natural supplements that have things like mushroom, Lansman, reishi, Ganodama can be very effective towards taking care of your health. And I'm going to list all the other benefits and properties that are medicinal related to mushrooms. So number 3 is beauty. Mushrooms are known to be the secrets for long life. When I was in China, I visited there in December, just a few weeks ago, and the thing is, there are so many old people, and those people are not in wheelchairs, and they're not, they are working there in the, I met this old lady who was watering skumas. They are working, they are doing so many things, they are walking, they are not senile. You see here, by the time a person is 120 years, they probably don't even leave the house. They just sit in their chair and they wait for food, and they have to be given a lot of care and depend on other people to take care of them. But with these people in the China community that I met, a lot of people are over 130 years old, and they're working and contributing to their lives. In Kenya, if you find someone who is 120, the whole media team will be there because it's a phenomenon. And this is what I mean. It gives you longer life. It's good for your skin. It's good for your cells. The core of your body is your cells. So something that is related to healing that, go for it. Go for it. So there is tremella mushroom. There is cordyceps, which are very good and in a lot of beauty industry products. So you just check for those in the labels. Shiitake, reishi, of course. Yes, they have anti-aging properties. Another use of mushrooms is psychedelics. These are called magic mushrooms. They make you high in a way. But what they do, they are used by therapists and healers in the traditional settings, especially in Asia, that help expand your thinking capacity. We all know that we use a very limited part of our brain. And when you take these psychedelics, you take very little, like 1 gram. And it kind of get a trip, it transports you, and you can be able to either go remember some of your childhood memories, like even from age 2. It's kind of amazing, but it's illegal, so don't mess with that. Anyway, yes, it can also be used to help with trauma. Like if you went through a traumatic experience, you find that the brain, because it's trying to save you pain, it kind of blocks out that traumatic experience. And we all know, until you heal, you haven't healed. So taking some of these psychedelics can help you, be able to have that bravery to go through that trauma again and open it up and kind of break it down with the help of a counselor, and break down that trauma so that it doesn't hold you back anymore. So mushrooms have a lot of uses. My favorite one is breakfast. I always eat mushrooms for breakfast, and even when I don't have any growing in my farm, I always make sure that I'm buying from the supermarket. So go to your next supermarket, fry your mushrooms. Very easy to fry them. It's like an egg. You add garlic and some oil, some salt, and you're good to go. Just dice them and they're awesome. We can also make mushroom soups and things like that. So we offer ready mushroom bags because we understand that even though mushroom farming can be simple, it's very technical. Like there are certain things you have to do. Mushroom was originally grown in laboratories, but farmers said, we can take on this challenge. So it's very technical, and we don't want you to go through all that heartache. We can sell you ready bags. You just come and you buy. They're $3.50 each and a minimum of 100 bags. So you can order from us, and all you do is spray some water, harvest, take it to the market, put it on your kitchen counter, and enjoy mushrooms for the next 4 weeks. So let us know.